2020 has obviously been a crazy year, but would you say that it's been a year where you've felt like you've gotten closer to God? And if so, why?
Oh, absolutely. I feel as though because of these untrying times and how this kind of happened so abruptly and unexpectedly, it started off with a lot of like scariness, sadness. It started off very just, I was so confused because I remember back in March when all of this went down, I used to be, so I was commuting to Cal Lutheran for the first 2 years, and then I lived in the dorms, and I remember I would visit AJ and Kristen all the time. We would hang out, and I literally only got the experience for like 2 months, and then I was pulled out with everybody else, and I was very like negative about it at first, to be honest. But then once I looked back at everything I've written and new stuff I've written for songs, I was thinking to myself, oh my goodness, I mean, what am I waiting for? This is the perfect time to do it. I'm at home. I have all my gear here with me. My friends are a phone call away. I mean, what am I worrying about? And I just listened to my heart and listened to God. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to do this for myself and start releasing just a single, because my goal is to release an EP and then eventually an album. But I wanted to start somewhere and see what I can do for my first release. And lo and behold, that's Hunger. And that's how I've been handling this whole quarantine. Is at first it started off a little bit sad, but then it ended up becoming a huge like adjustment for the better. And I know that we're probably going to be in this for a little longer, but it is already getting better. I know that because it's cold outside, it's a little bit bad again. But as long as I have my music and my art and my video making, and because no one can really take that away from you, especially if, you know, whether you're a rapper like AJ or a filmmaker like Kristen, you can't take anyone's passions away from them, which I think is really important to understand, just like knowledge too. And everything you learn always stays up here. So even if I lost this microphone, if my computer crashed, or God forbid I lost my hard drives, even though those are like so important not to lose.
Or if your laptop falls and your hard drive breaks.
Yeah, like you said, then the one thing that is the most important is no one can take anything away from what you learned up here and what you have in here in your heart. Because that's how I was raised when I was younger, is that, you know, no one can take away your education and no one can take away your talents. And to always, you know, be humble about them and to collaborate with people and to be able to share them with the world. So I just thought I'd share that to all of you listeners out there. So
it's all about the knowledge. It always comes back to the cipher, the knowledge, right, Kristen?
Yes,
right.
It reminds me of hip hop class I just was in with Ricky. That was fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Alexa's now in on the knowledge. She knows about the cipher now.
Oh, that's
yeah.
Cool. He was like, you should take my class again. I'm like, I'd be down to just like show up. But we talk about the cipher, and it's, oh my God, he's really dope. He's a really awesome professor. So
yeah. You know, and I'd say that our lives have definitely all changed a lot because of Madam Rona. You know, and but you know, it's been a lot of good things, like you said, like for you getting commercial music out there. 2 songs actually so far. We didn't even mention Write for Each Other.
Oh yes, my collaboration
with,
oh my God.
With Glide. His artist name is Just Glide, right? And then Instagram is Prod by Glide.
Yes, proudly made by Glide. Yes, that is his Instagram, and he's worked with many famous artists, and he has connections with studios in LA. So that's like one of the first things we're doing. Once this vaccine is out and once COVID is no more, I want to like see what it's like to be in a professional studio and see how the recording process works for records. Because I think that it's really important to really take advantage of the connections you have in college, outside of college, and especially in your passion. Whatever your passion is, you should always stay connected to the people who have, you know, similar interests and, you know, are just as passionate with it as you are. Because if they're not as passionate with it as you are, then what really is there? Because it will kind of make you feel like it's one-sided. Because, you know, it's like putting together I don't know how to make the analogy. It's like putting a passion fruit like your show and mixing it with like gross, like a salty flavored meal. It's like it doesn't go together unless you like sweet and salty, which is okay, but I'm talking like a real like major difference, like someone who works in like someone who's a surgeon and someone who's a musician. It doesn't really go together because personally I can't handle blood. It makes me really anxious. So, but I think that it's just what I'm trying to say is it's really important to like be very collaborative, be very open-minded, and just be willing to share your ideas and be willing to, you know, switch them around, be willing to work with people, because that's what it's about, especially as young adults as we are. We're learning how to, you know, live in this generation. And it's just kind of crazy because so much is going on with technology and the economy. And we just got to, you know, have each other's backs whenever needed, especially because I'm an only child. I don't have any like siblings. I have a half brother, but he's like 13 years older than me. He lives in another state. So that's why my friends are like my family to me. So it's very, very important to really recognize that. And if you have siblings, then that's awesome too.